Okay, these are our words for this week. This is called rare. Say the word. Rare. A white alligator and a white lion are rare. That means there's not many of them. It doesn't happen very often. Rare. Relay. Say the word. Relay is a race where each person does their part. So you only will run a certain part, and then the next person goes, and the next person goes. And you usually pass something like a baton to the next person, and then they run. Relay race. All right, honored. Say the word. Honored. When someone is honored, they're praised for what they do. So this girl's being honored with a blue ribbon. Success. Say the word. Success is when you finish something that you've worked hard to do. Politics. Say politics. Politics is work that's done by people that work for a government. Like the president works in politics. Or mayor works in politics. Advice. Say the word. When you give advice, you tell someone what you would do. So this man's giving advice to the boy, or the boy's giving advice to the man. One or the other. Earned. Say the word. If you earned something, you got what you worked for. So they earned money for selling their lemonade. Equal. Say equal. Equal. Now, we've already learned this when we learned fractions. Equals means the same amount. So each of these pieces of pizza are equal or the same. Okay, so this week's story, we're going to learn about synthesizing. Synthesize, we've talked about this before, but synthesize is when you take all the facts you learn in a nonfiction story. So remember, nonfiction is a story that teaches us. The purpose of a nonfiction story is to teach us something. So when you synthesize, you put together information from different parts of the text or the story to see what the whole story is about, the big idea. So they're puzzle piecing together the big idea, and our light bulb is the big idea. So today we're going to read a story about a lady named Wilma Rudolph. It's a nonfiction story. It's going to teach us about the story of her life. It's called a biography. So we're going to synthesize all the important ideas, all the facts to come together to one big idea. So get out your reading books. Page 40. Wilma Rudolph. All right, we should be quiet and we should be getting to page 40 so we can move on. Corbin. Wilma Rudolph, Against All Odds. This story is a biography. A biography is a nonfiction story that tells about a real person's life. So we'll notice what the person did. There'll be photos of the person. And there's going to be a timeline. We've already talked about timeline, and that's what your homework is this week for the story, is a timeline of Wilma Rudolph's story. So we're going to read to find out the most important ideas in each part. And then we're going to synthesize or put together all those ideas in our mind to find out what the really means to me, what the text really means. All right, little Wilma. When Wilma Rudolph was born on June 23rd, 1940 in Tennessee. They got Tennessee circled right there. She was born early. She only weighed 4.5 pounds. She was often sick because she was so small. So what is this page about? Let's synthesize this page. What is the main thing about this page? Gracie? Where she lived. Yep, where she was born, and that she was small. Yes, she was born in Tennessee, and she was small. She was sick a lot. Polio. At age 4, Wilma was very sick. She got better, but her mother was still worried. Something was wrong with her left leg and foot. The doctor said Wilma had polio. The doctor said Wilma would never walk. Wilma could not walk for 2 years. Her brothers and sisters helped her by exercising her left foot and her leg. Wilma wore a brace on her leg. She could not play games and sports at school. She watched the other kids play. She wanted to be like them. So let's look at these two pictures. These are called captions under here. Some children with polio learn to walk with braces and clutches. President Franklin D. Roosevelt had polio. He could not walk. You see, he's in a wheelchair. Today, polio is very rare. Remember, rare means it doesn't happen very often. People can get shots, so they do not get polio. So you probably got a shot, so you wouldn't get polio. All right. I want to think more about how these pictures add to my understanding of Wilma. The text explains that she has a disease called polio. Do these pictures help me understand what polio is? Yes, they do. She wore a rag on her brace. Look at this little boy. He has legs on his braces on his legs. So it helps me there. The caption explains that people in the pictures also had polio. It also helps me understand that some people can't walk, like President Roosevelt. President Roosevelt could not walk at all. I think I understand why the pictures are important, even though Wilma is not in them. So these are not pictures of Wilma, but they show what life was like for people who had this disease. So it helps me understand what polio is about. Next page. Sports. Wilma worked hard to get stronger. By age 12, she did not use a crutch or a brace. Wilma was happy to play sports. Her brothers built a basketball hoop in their backyard, and they taught Wilma how to play. Wilma wanted to play basketball in high school. The coach wanted her sister on the team. Wilma's dad said both girls had to play. The coach agreed. Wilma became a star player. So there's Wilma's high school picture. That's what she looked like in high school. Ed Temple was a college track coach. He saw Wilma play basketball. He thought Wilma could be a track star. He let Wilma practice with his college track team. Wilma practiced hard. She wanted to get better. At first, Wilma was not a fast runner. Coach Temple showed her some special tricks to run faster. So there's a picture of Coach Ed Temple. And in this box it says, fun fact, Wilma scored the most points in a state basketball championship. So why did Ed Temple think Wilma could be a track star? Why did he think she could be a track star, Emma? Why did that coach think that she could be a track star? How did he notice her? Well, he wasn't there at that game, it didn't say. He might have been, but it didn't say. Chase? She was a slow runner. Well, it didn't say that either. It said Ed Temple was a college track coach. What made him think she would be a good track star? Kate? Right, he saw her play basketball, and he saw that she was a star basketball player, so he thought maybe she could be a star track player. Okay? What details help you understand what learning track was like for Wilma? What did they talk about? What did they say learning track was like for her, Cooper? Well, it does mean to run, but what was it like for Wilma? What was it like for Wilma? Look at your words. Use our evidence. What did it say? What did it say it was like for Wilma? At first, she was what? What did it say? We're looking at page 45. It says on page 45. At first, what was she like when she started running track? Grant? She was not a fast runner. She was kind of slow. But how did she get fast? What did it say? Use your evidence. Don't tell me what you think. Tell me what it said. Heather? She trained her. It said he showed her some special tricks. That's right. That's training her. Very good. All right. Turn to the next page. The Olympics. Wilma hard work paid off. At age 16, she made it to the Olympics for track and field. She won the bronze medal for the 100-meter relay race. So there it is. Wilma and her teammates trained for the 1960 Olympics, and Wilma training for a race. And there's Wilma and President John F. Kennedy. She met a president, and there she is in a parade. No one thought Wilma's team would win a medal in the 1956 Olympics. Wilma was proud of her bronze medal, but she wanted to win a gold medal. Wilma set goals, and she worked hard for 4 years, because they only have the Olympics every 4 years. In 1960, Wilma went to the Olympics again. She ran in 3 races. She won every one. She was the first American woman to win 3 gold medals at one Olympics. So there she was. And here she is holding one of her 3 medals. See them? 1, 2, 3. So she was called the Tennessee Tornado and the Black Pearl. So what is happening on the pictures of all these pages? What is happening here in these pictures? What's happening in these pictures? What's one of the things happening in these pictures, Blaze? Right? We see one picture where she won the medals. What else are we seeing, Chase? She met a president. Isaiah? She was in a parade. So how do you think the words in the pictures help you understand the importance of Wilma's successes? Does it help us understand it more, seeing all these things she got to do? Yes, yes. They help me understand that being the first American to win 3 gold medals was a big deal, right? That's a big deal. No woman had ever won 3 gold medals all in one Olympics. Okay, turn to the next page. A true hero. After the 1960 Olympics, Wilma went to college. She became a teacher and a coach. Wilma won many awards, too. She's one of the first African-American women to be honored for being a good athlete. Remember, honored means to show your praise for. So there's Wilma holding her college diploma, and there she received an award with her hero, Jesse Owens, on the right. So there's Jesse Owens. He was another good athlete. Wilma's success gave many women a chance to try new things. Sadly, Wilma died young on November 12, 1994, but her amazing work will never be forgotten. So here's a display to honor Wilma in a museum in Tennessee. Remember, that's where she was born. In 2004, the United States Postal Service created a stamp to honor Wilma. Her face was on a stamp. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I understand. Okay, so what did Wilma accomplish after the 1960 Olympics? When she's done with the Olympics, what are some things that she did? She became a teacher and a coach. What else did she do, Wyatt? Right after the Olympics, what did she do? She went to college. That's right. She went to college and she became a teacher. And she won many awards, didn't she? You see all the awards she won. All right. Do you think that would have been hard for her to do all those things? Yeah, it would be. The text says Wilma was one of the first African-American women to be honored for being a good athlete. That makes me think that back then it was hard for African-American women to succeed the way Wilma did. Okay. All right, let's go to this next page. Oh, that's it. Nope, that's not it. All right, here's her timeline. So how will a timeline help me? How would a timeline help me, Lily? To see what? No. That's not what a timeline helps me see. What does a timeline help me see, Sadie? What does a timeline help me do? Gracie, what does it help me do? Well, what does a timeline help me do, Wyatt? Right, it tells me what happened, all the important things in her life. So in 1940, Wilma Rudolph is born in Tennessee. In 1944, Wilma's diagnosed with polio. In 1952, Wilma learned to play basketball and walk without help from a crutch or brace. In 1956, Wilma wins the bronze medal at the Olympics. In 1960, Wilma becomes the first American woman to win 3 gold medals at the Olympics. In 1994, Wilma dies at the age of 54. So a timeline starts with when they were born and when they died and tells me all the important things that happened in their life. Doesn't always tell me everything. It didn't tell me when she went to college or that she became a coach and a teacher, but it tells me some of the important times. So I have learned many important facts and details about Wilma. What can I learn from the way she lived her life? What can I learn? Let's put all the puzzle pieces together. What can you learn from Wilma? What can you learn?
She got polio.
No, what are you learning about from her? What can you learn about your life from her?